Take Me Home, Country Roads is a song written by Bill Danoff, Taffy Nivert, and John Denver, and initially recorded by John Denver. It was included on his 1971 breakout album Poems, Prayers and Promises. The single went to number 1 on the Record World Pop Singles chart and the Cashbox Top 100, and number 2 on the US Billboard Hot 100, topped only by How Can You Mend a Broken Heart by the Bee Gees. It became one of John Denver's most popular and beloved songs, and is still very popular around the world. It is considered to be Denver's signature song. It also has a prominent status as an iconic symbol of West Virginia, which it describes as almost heaven. For example, it was played at the funeral memorial for U.S. Senator Robert Byrd in July 2010. Origins: starting December 22, 1970, John Denver was heading the bill at the Cellar Door, a Washington, D.C. club. Danoff and Nivert opened for him as a duo named Fat City. After the Tuesday post-Christmas reopening night, the three headed back to their place for an impromptu jam. On the way, Denver's left thumb was broken in an automobile accident. He was taken to the hospital, where a splint was applied. By the time they got back to the house, he was, in his own words, "wired, you know." Danoff and Nivert then told him about a song that they had been working on for about a month. Inspiration had come while driving to a family reunion of Nivert's relatives in nearby Maryland. To pass the time en route, Danoff had made up a ballad about the little winding roads they were taking. Later, he changed the story to fit that of an artist friend, who used to write to him about the splendors of the West Virginia countryside. Originally, Danoff and Nivert had planned to sell the song to popular country singer Johnny Cash, but when Denver heard the song and decided he had to have it, the duo who wrote the original lyrics decided not to make the sale. They sang the song for Denver and, as he recalled, "I flipped." The three stayed up until 6 a.m., changing words and moving lines around. When they finished, John announced that the song had to go on his next album. The song was premiered December 30, 1970, during an encore of Denver's set, the singers reading the words from a folded piece of paper. This resulted in a 5-minute ovation, one of the longest in Cellar Door history. They recorded it in New York City in January 1971. Danoff and his then-wife, Mary Nivert, wrote "I Guess He'd Rather Be in Colorado," and "Take Me Home, Country Roads," both of which were hits for John Denver. The latter song was adopted as an official state song by the West Virginia legislature on March 7, 2014, alongside 3 other pieces, "West Virginia Hills," "This Is My West Virginia," and "West Virginia, My Home Sweet Home." Danoff has stated he had never been in West Virginia before co-writing the song. He had even briefly considered using Massachusetts rather than West Virginia, as both 4-syllable state names would have fit the song's meter. Denver recorded about a dozen Danoff compositions from 1972 through the end of his career. "Take Me Home, Country Roads" appeared on the LP Poems, Prayers and Promises and was released as a 45 in the spring of 1971. Original pressings credited the single to John Denver with Fat City. It broke nationally in mid-April, but moved up the charts very slowly. After several weeks, RCA Records called John and told him that they were giving up on the single. His response: "No. Keep working on it." They did, and on August 18, 1971, it was certified gold by the RIAA for 1 million copies shipped. It has also sold an additional 1,142,000 downloads since it became available digitally. Reception in West Virginia: "Take Me Home, Country Roads" received an enthusiastic response from West Virginians. The song is the theme song of West Virginia University and has been performed at every home football pre-game show since 1972. In 1977 Denver played for Morgantown High School and even changed the wording to Appalachian Mountains, Monongahela River. In 1980, Denver performed the song during pre-game festivities to a sold-out crowd of Mountaineer fans. This performance marked the dedication of the current Mountaineer field and the first game for then-head coach Don Nehlen. The song is played for other athletic events and university functions, including after football games, for which the fans are encouraged to stay in the stands and sing the song along with the team. The popularity of the song has inspired resolutions in the West Virginia legislature to change the state song of West Virginia to Take Me Home, Country Roads. On March 7, 2014, the West Virginia legislature approved a resolution to make Take Me Home, Country Roads the official state song of West Virginia. Governor L. Ray Tomblin signed the resolution into law on March 8. The land features mentioned prominently in the song lyrics the Shenandoah River and the Blue Ridge Mountains have only marginal associations with the state of West Virginia, and would seem to be more appropriate to describe Western Virginia. The river passes through only the very eastern tip of the eastern panhandle of West Virginia in Jefferson County. Similarly, the vast majority of the Blue Ridge also lies outside the state, only crossing into West Virginia in Jefferson County. According to a radio interview with Nivert, the road is close to her native Washington, D.C., and nearby Montgomery County, Maryland, where Denver often visited. Clopper Road still exists today, but the landscape has changed drastically from the bucolic scenery that once surrounded it. Hillary Rodham Clinton quoted the song in the opening line of her speech following her massive win in the 2008 West Virginia Democratic primary, stating, "You know, like the song says, it's almost heaven." Thomas, West Virginia-based brewery, Mountain State Brewing Company, produces an amber ale called Almost Heaven named after John Denver's ode to West Virginia, Country Roads. The song was played at the funeral memorial for Senator Robert Byrd at the state capitol in Charleston on July 2, 2010. Chart performance. Covers. Eddie Arnold recorded it for his 1971 album, Loving Her Was Easier. Lynn Anderson recorded a cover for her 1971 album How Can I Unlove You? Loretta Lynn recorded it for her 1971 album You're Lookin' at Country. Skeeter Davis recorded it for her 1971 album Bring It On Home. Ray Charles cut a cover of the song for his 1972 album A Message from the People. Olivia Newton-John recorded a cover version in 1973 that reached the top 10 in Japan and the number 15 in the UK, but only reached number 119 in the United States on the Billboard Hot 100. It is this recording which is eventually used as the opening song for Whisper of the Heart, a Studio Ghibli anime that uses Take Me Home, Country Roads as a plot device featuring several renditions in Japanese including an end title version performed by Yoko Hana. In 1974, Lena Zavaroni recorded a cover of Country Roads for her album Ma. Israel Kamekawiwo'ele recorded a version for his 1993 album Facing Future in which West Makaha, Hawaii is substituted for West Virginia. The Christian ska band, the W's, covered it on their 1999 album Trouble with X. Toots and the Maytals recorded a reggae version in which the lyrics are altered to describe Jamaica. Almost Heaven, West Jamaica, for instance, replaces Denver's West Virginia. This version was itself covered in Almost Heaven, a 2005 German film directed by Ed Herzog. In the story, Helen Schuster is a German girl with a terminal illness who dreams to be a country singer Nashville-style and winds up in Jamaica. The song is sung by Hike Makach, who plays Helen. Hermes House Band recorded a cover and performed on Top of the Pops when the single was released in 2001. Country pop vocalist Carrie Underwood performed the song during her play on tour in 2010. Underwood performed the song in the bed of a pickup truck over the audience. In 1995, Yuji Nomi, a Japanese composer, adapted the song to the Studio Ghibli movie Whisper of the Heart by changing the lyrics in a humorous and college-aware way. In 2008, punk rock cover band, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, covered it for their album Have Another Ball. Country music artist Darrell Singletary covered the song on his 2009 album Rockin' in the Country. In 2010, Swedish singer Major covered the Studio Ghibli version of the song on her album Anya Mija. In 2012, singer-songwriter Mike Doughty released a cover on his album The Flip Is Another Honey. In 2013, American folk singers Brandi Carlile and Emmylou Harris recorded the song for the John Denver tribute album This Music Is You, a tribute to John Denver. In popular culture, in the episode brought to you in Dharma Vision, of the romantic sitcom Dharma and Greg, Dharma and her friend Jane sing the song while riding in a motorcycle and sidecar, taking a trip to the California redwoods. In the Remember When episode of the popular HBO series The Sopranos, the song is sung by a group of people in a mental health hospital where the character Junior has been consigned. Earlier that year West Virginia University beat Rutgers University in a pivotal basketball game. Some in New Jersey claimed that using the song was poking fun at the state, but the producers insisted the episode had been filmed long before that game had been played. Bradford City AFC, an English football club, have a variation for their Stadium Valley Parade, with West Virginia being replaced with Midland Road. In the show The Office, Dwight and Andy play Country Roads. Season 5, Episode 23. References. External links, full lyrics of this song at Metro Lyrics.